Hey, good morning, folks. I'm your host, BKP. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. Forgot my glasses this morning, so working through a couple things. We'll be okay. 70 degrees, but raining here in North Georgia, so it was. You had a nice, quiet, gentle rain all weekend long through North Georgia. It wasn't cold. You could be outside and enjoy the rain. So we'll go from there. It's supposed to rain most of the day today, but it is Monday and we are going to power through here. I'm your host, BKP. Josh, tell people how they can contact the show. Right there is our phone number, our email address, and all the social media ways you can contact the show. Sorry about that. That was a little loud, but let me check this so I can give you a yes or no. Okay. Hold on, let me do this. Hold on, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. You're going to know. All right, so we've got a caller. Josh, we did confirm, okay? So we are going to have a caller at 9 o'clock. I wanted to tell you what it was. The Guardian, let me tell you this. This is the Guardian. Got here somewhere. I've got so many articles open this morning. Where is it at? Yeah, the Guardian, there's an article. It was yesterday. It came out Sunday at 2 p.m. Can Trump win 2020? This Pennsylvania county may hold the key. Now, I want to talk to the chairman of the Republican Party of this county. So I sent a message out, and we're going to have Lee Snover is going to be on at 9 o'clock to talk about this article. She's quoted in this article. If you don't know, Northampton County, Pennsylvania went for Barack Obama twice before flipping to Trump. If you do the math within the state of Pennsylvania and pulling Pennsylvania through, this county is credited with pulling Pennsylvania through for the President of the United States and flipping to Trump, and it has to do it again. So the Guardian the Guardian wrote a very long article about Northampton County, Pennsylvania, voted twice for Barack Obama before flipping for Trump, and could decide whether Trump gets a second term. And I do agree with that. That's why we stay close. So the GOP chair of Northampton County, PA, will be with us at 9 o'clock to talk about that. All right. So, where do you start? Now, obviously, your tax money is irrelevant, and I'm going to tell you that, all right? Whether you like it or not, your tax money in your local county, your tax money in your state, your tax money in the federal government, they have zero from your county, Board of Education, state, zero concern when they need some more money or want to spend it. That's just my opinion. Today, can you believe we are going to spend money? Give me number 25, or if you don't have it, just say, because I know I sent them late. We are going to spend money to listen to John Dean. Now, who is John Dean? He's former White House counsel to Richard Milhouse Nixon. You are going to spend money on John Dean's testimony today, and it's actually called, if you go to, this is just unreal. If you actually go to the U.S. House Committee, the Judiciary, Chairman Gerald Nadler, the official, all right, and you go to committee activity, and you look at the weekly schedule, okay, and you look at hearings, lessons from the Mueller report, presidential obstruction and other crimes. Now you remember Democrats said that what they have to do is educate the American people. And they're going to leapfrog. They're going to leapfrog the whole Clinton-Lewinsky thing and go back to Nixon. Because that's what you're missing. If you are my age or older, you need to be reminded. If you're younger than myself, because I think that's where the history of the Watergate starts to dwindle, the memory of it, you again need your first dose. And if you're a millennial or whatever age group or definition of your age group, you need to hear this so you can start researching why it's important to get Don McGahn to sit down in front of Nadler and the Judiciary Committee. So today's hearings are called Lessons from the Mueller Report, Presidential Obstructions and Crimes. Yes. Now, are they using your tax money? Three. That's what they're doing with our money today. I want to know why Democrat candidates are not holding campaign rallies in these kind of neighborhoods. They created them. Democrats created all of your inner city decay. Democrats. How about number 4? Nice little backdrop, 59,000 homeless. Number 5. Number 6. That's America, folks. 7, I think, is around Atlanta. Number 7, Atlanta. 8, I think, is Seattle. Number 8. 59,000 homeless in LA County, up 12%. LA, the city of LA, up 16%. Why will they not go hold their rallies? Why not? Now, folks, I understand I started with John Dean. But what's in this country? If Republicans want to win, this to me is simple. Because we have become a country of germaphobes. Why? Why are we a country of germaphobes? Now, I'm not going to give you my age, but I got a little gray hair, right? Do you think I ever thought of going in the A&P back in the old days? Grand Union, back in the old days, a Pathmark, even in the city. 30 years ago. And looking for the 99. Now, I got to give it to Josh. Josh says every time he looks at the 99.9% of bacteria in 15 seconds, he wants to know what the heck at 0.1% is, because I'll tell you what, it's awful bad, right, Josh? Whatever, it won't kill.
Yeah, that's got to be some rough stuff.
It got to be some rough stuff. I'm just asking you, right? I'm just asking. Now, what is the media doing this morning? Why, they go to number 30. Trump defends deal with Mexico amid crisis. What crisis? What crisis? Huh? They're living in the streets. Our people are living in the streets. Thousands by the thousands all over the United States. We have people living in the streets. The decays of the inner city, it is gone. What they have done is they've done a revitalization program. And I'm going to tell you, it's predominantly white people. Okay? White people, they cheer. Wow, we got a grant and we're revitalizing this district of Atlanta and this district of Seattle and this district of Tampa. So when us white people travel, we will only go into those areas and come home only thinking that this city looks so good. Really? Really? No. Well, let me tell you what's happening. They're starting to play these kind of clips in white neighborhoods. I know. People think I lost my mind. I don't care. Guess what? Black males in America, they know. Okay? Our homeless vets know. They all know the desperation and how the destruction and what it looks like in an inner city, all due to Democrats. And now they watch this coming on a daily basis, right? Daily basis. And what do we have? This is from Breitbart, okay? And this was June 6th. DHS frees 5.5 thousand illegal aliens in U.S. in 1 week. 196,000 released in 5 months. My God, you must be looking for the disinfected wipes. What's this got to do with anything on a Monday morning? Because the media is out there telling you that Trump is championing a deal with Mexico that was already in place. That's a lie. You do realize, and I say this with all due respect, you do realize that anything the President of the United States can do without Congress, he has done an amazing, brilliant job of. Whether you like the way I put it or not, having to use the Paul Ryan Republican Congress was a disaster. Waiting for Republican senators to back him is a disaster. Period. Waiting for Democrat House of Representatives to back him has been a disaster. The only thing that has worked efficiently on trying to get this country straightened out has been the White House, that what have they done for over 2 years? Have told you it's full disarray and disaster. That's right. Now let me ask you a question. President Trump's Department of Homeland Security, DHS, released 5,500 border crossers and illegal aliens into the interior of the United States over the past 7 days. From May 28th to June 30th, DHS released 5,500. Folks, we know they're bringing children. Now, that don't belong to them. This Sunday, number 18, okay, DHS Secretary Kevin McElhinney, acting Homeland Security Secretary. Let me get with the acting also. People are starting to get irritated with acting. Do you realize the dog and pony show that they do on every one of the presidents appointed? We can't get Stephen Moore. We can't get Shuckaducky. Yeah, you know who it is. My man Herman Cain. We can't get him. We cannot get anybody approved for this White House that they just totally don't personally annihilate. And as an acting secretary, you don't have to go through the confirmation. So you can get upset with Trump or not, but you look at the personal annihilation of these individuals in this country that just want to serve. My God. Trump claims, now this is what you see. Now he is on there saying, I think he says as high as 30%, even higher, I don't remember the numbers he gave, of them finding that people are bringing children that don't belong to them. They're getting in and then they're just letting the kids go. Trump claims victory in tariff tiff with Mexico. With terror tiff. He claims victory with terror tiff in Mexico. Everybody, including the Republicans, when I say everybody, a lot of people got upset. Why Mitch McConnell went up there and said, we don't have an appetite. An appetite. What the hell do you have an appetite for? What do you? What conservative, strong conservative move has the President of the United States made that you have come out in the forefront and said, we have an appetite for this? But McConnell said, our caucus does not have an appetite for tariffs on Mexico. You had a damn appetite when you worked out NAFTA and sent all the jobs. You had an appetite when you worked out a deal to send those Fords and Chevys and avocados back north. Just like that. No problem. Period. We are okay with this, number 8 in America. We're okay with this. You see, that's not children in cages. I'm going to tell you, if we can put the story together, you think I'm joking, right? You think, oh my gosh, another one of days where he's lost his mind right out of the box on Monday. He lost his mind on Monday. What the hell is going to come up Friday? No. Folks, why? Why do you think there's not a grocery store in the United States, not even 10 years ago, did not have these and invest in these? Why? Why do you think Walmart kicked the greeter out to say, hello, how are you, and changed it to the cost of these right here? Why do you think every major store, to clean your handle of your buggy, because we're nasty-ass Americans. I mean, they urinate in the floor, they crap on the streets. Exactly. Nasty. Oh, God. That reminds me of last week. That nasty-ass Meghan Markle, princess. I mean, I'm just saying, right? Yes. Those are not kids in cages. This should be so easy. America. Hey, we're okay with this, and we're okay with, I have another one here, we're just picking out here. Let's see. Let's take number 20. You're okay with that? Trump claims victory in tariff tiff with Mexico. Mexico agrees to take border actions months ago. They agreed to take border actions months ago. Maybe they did not feel our Congress was serious. Maybe they were hearing not from the microphones when Trump finally said it. If you think, here's what I think, is we have lost our minds if you think the only time the Mitch McConnell of the world comes out and says we don't have an appetite for tariffs was when Trump finally said we don't have an appetite for tariff. Who? I'll give you one more thing and we'll get into some other stuff. Democrats. Number 1. What do they all talk about? Americans for prosperity. Wasn't that the case? Wasn't that the case that Democrats are all concerned about, Americans for Prosperity. Remember that one? Right? Oh, yeah. And how about these two guys here, number 2? Huh? Hang tight, hang tight, hang tight, hang tight. I got it here, I got it here. Let's see. I know I have it here, so don't go anywhere. Homeless Trumps, hold on. There it is. This came out June 4th, 2018. This has been happening. June 4th, 2018. Okay? Koch brothers taking on Trump with free trade campaign. This didn't just happen. You think when they went to the microphone the other day, they're taking on Trump? Another trade war is brewing between President Trump and the Koch brothers. Days after President moved forward with imposing steel and aluminum tariffs. Okay? They plan big money, pouring big money into Democrats. These guys, and I don't have time to do the whole entire, these guys plan big money to pour it into Democrats. That will do two things. Promise amnesty, promise a pathway for elite dreamers so they can have the cheap labor they want, and promise free trade. Just so these guys can be happy. That's exactly right. And who is in fear of these guys? Come to the Senate. They're going to get involved in your Senate races, your Democrat congressional races. Who's in fear of these guys? None other. Right? Mitch McConnell. Grassley. Those guys are scared to death. Why do you think they came out and said, our caucus doesn't have an appetite? Trump didn't care. He didn't care last week. I'll slap 5% on there immediately. Monday morning, you will have it. Oh, they rushed in. But do you think the Democrats, the Republicans, anybody in Congress, the media, all right? Because let me tell you something. Number 20. They're bringing tuberculosis. They're bringing unknown diseases in this country. They are bringing children that you're going to educate through your local Board of Education that you pay your property tax. They're going to be in line at your doctors. When you hear you can't get a doctor, when you hear it takes 3 months to get to see somebody, when you go to the emergency room and you've been there 8 and 9 hours, how many stories I've been in the emergency room for 9 hours? They took me back and I waited almost an hour and a half before anything really happened. All the time. Right? They're going to get care. Okay? The germs are coming, baby. The germs are coming. And America, you have had it. We're going to expose these inner cities. We're going to expose the decay. We're going to expose every bit of it. And we're also going to make sure that why do you think? You see this right here? All right, I know there's some people, and I want to give one more picture, and I got to take a break. These candidates for Democrat will do anything. You remember when Trump got in big trouble? Well, by the media. Number 22. Right now, Democrat hopefuls descend on Iowa. That's Kirsten Gillibrand, right? Remember when Trump said she would do anything for a campaign contribution? Did you see her LGBTQF Iowa t-shirt as she was working a bar at a LGBTQF event where she was like, she was next in line for a wet t-shirt contest. You might get mad at me. Go look at the videos. Don't get upset with me until you go look at the videos and the actions of these candidates. Now, she was going to protect their rights. She's out there full flaming getting their rights protected. She will be a president that will make sure their rights are protected. What about you and all of these diseases your children will contract? I'm going to tell you something. You're going to look at a different shaped America in about 15 years. And it's not going to be a demographic shift from brown, white, black, red, whatever you want to put up. It is going to be a disaster in our health care based on what we allowed in here and what develops. My point. Oh, Kirsten, she'd do anything for a campaign contribution. They all will. They want to get on the stage. Woo! I'll take a break. Let's go.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Welcome to Mountain Valley Motors. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat vehicles available, plus a wide selection of quality used vehicles. Located at 7535 Appalachian Highway in Blue Ridge, we treat the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. We know that you have high expectations, and as a car dealer, we enjoy the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow us to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. Our experienced sales staff is eager to share its knowledge and enthusiasm with you. We encourage you to browse our online inventory, schedule a test drive, and investigate financing options. Visit us online or call us at 706-516-1053.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Good morning, folks. I'm your host, BKP. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. Let's tell people how they can contact the show. All right, 706-889-9700, and there's our phone, our email address, and all the ways you can follow us on social media. That being said, now I have to get out at 9:50 on Mondays, so Josh could prepare the sports show Instant Replay with Lauren Hunter and Dave Garner. So that is on our Team FYN Sports Facebook page. They go live there at 10 a.m. So I got to get out at 9:50. At 9 o'clock, we're going to have, the Guardian has written an article, and I know we're talking about Iowa and the media and the 19 Democrat hopefuls that went to Iowa and hate Trump, and the world's only problem is Trump. Trump divided this country to where those people have to live on the streets just in a couple years. I mean, don't you think it's amazing that, you know, if you want to sit back and you want to say Trump caused everything, every single thing, I think that's amazing in itself. I mean, here you have this piece of garbage, Johnson, Lyndon Baines Johnson, right? And you have all the Democrats in these inner cities. They've worked for all these years to destroy the black community, to kill unborn black children, to leave black children uneducated and poor living conditions with no health care. They have worked so hard to accomplish this. And Trump comes in 2 years and swoop, everything's his fault. I mean, the man is amazing, right? It's a little facetious. The Guardian came out with an article that said, can Trump win in 2020? This Pennsylvania county may hold the key. And realistically, it will in large part be the keystone. Pennsylvania is the keystone state. It is actually the keystone county in that state that can pull Trump over like it did last time. And we're going to talk about that, all right? So the President of the United States, today we have, and I wonder, you know, see these two guys, number 9, all right? Number 9 is William Barr. And if you'll listen to Barr when he did the interview with CBS and he talks to others, Barr will let you know directly he can't put the pieces together of why this campaign, the Trump campaign, was looked into quite the way that they did. He can't put the pieces together. Why'd that happen? Now, I find it interesting. Not a Democrat one finds it interesting, you know, and not a Democrat one has taken the time to read any of Judicial Watch Freedom of Information Act, the request there, the documents that Tom Fitton has released. And here's a guy just can't put all the pieces together. Just can't. And here is a guy that knows that Robert Mueller cut out. Now, I forget Trump's attorney, but in the Mueller report, there's the front. I think you all know this. You can actually, if you'll Google this, you'll get this later. In the Mueller report, there's the front of Michael Flynn's sentence with his discussion, with Trump's lawyer, one of President Trump's attorneys. But the end of the discussion where the attorney says, you know, only if you're able to talk. The front of that sentence that leads everybody in the Mueller report to believe that that obstruction with Michael Flynn happened because Trump asked his personal attorney, one of his attorneys there, not Jay Sekulow, the other guy, I forget his name, to call Flynn and say, hey, you know, you need to, you know, whatever. Only if you can. If you can't, we understand. That got left off. So some of the claims of obstruction. So you have a nothing coup. You have a coup that's about absolutely nothing whatsoever. And now the obstruction is totally about nothing. We have not one person indicted or in prison, that includes Michael Cohen, for anything close to what Trump has been accused of. But yet, because that is 100% clean, everything else is being considered obstruction. So William Barr, your Attorney General, will not, he won't go for their dog and pony show. He won't let them have their counsel question him. Don McGahn, it's executive privilege. He's the White House counsel. Basically, they have 30-some hours of testimony, right? I mean, I'm just saying this off the top of my head. Don McGahn, 30-some hours of testimony, folks. So they are in contempt, or going to be held. There's going to be a vote to hold them in contempt, right? And so today, number 15, this is serious. We are spending America's tax money for the Judiciary Committee to hold hearings. And the title of the hearings, because it's on their official website, Lessons from the Mueller Report. Lessons. They're going to go back and they're going to review people. They're going to have people testify today that understand the Nixon obstruction. They're going to have John Dean. I think there's a couple more, but today the actual hearing is called Lessons from the Mueller Report. Lessons. Because what did they say they had to do? They have to educate the American people on what's really happened. You take a analyst that is a paid analyst from CNN. You take somebody on CNN's payroll and then try to spin your hearings are lessons from the Mueller report, and you want the American people to believe it. So I don't think that works out for them today. Number 16, impeachment agenda today. House Dems to kick off pre-impeachment agenda, all right? It's like NFL preseason, right? They'll play a couple games before they get started. Number 16. Do not think for 1 minute, and I just want to say this and get it out of the way. Do not think for 1 minute, that Nancy Pelosi is against impeaching the President of the United States. I don't believe that. Nothing about it. Okay. Now, here are your Iowa caucus, but here are the top choice nominees and likely Democrat caucus goers. All right. So let's go to number 23. Let's go to a little polling data here. CNN poll, Biden on top in Iowa, 24%. Biden skipped the weekend. Biden doesn't want to talk about abortion. Huh. Now, let me say this. If we develop if we have massive outbreaks of disease in this country, if we actually come up with another disease we got to eradicate, if our children that are born today within the next 20 years, that nobody will talk about what come across the border and what's living in the decay in these inner cities, how nasty and filthy, and their health hazards. I mean, our country's a health hazard. I mean, you would think I'm joking, right? You go to Walmart, Target, Costco, you go to your grocery stores, and right out front is your disinfectant wipe so you can clean the handle off of your buggy. You laugh if you want. But 20 years from now, they're not concerned. Right now, the media wants to drive abortion. And I'm okay with that. I'm pro-life. But they want to drive that. That's the car they want to drive. Let me get to oh yeah, did you realize Here's something that I thought you should go through your day knowing. This is going to be a shocker, folks. Number 28. Now, if you notice, all the way back 2008, 2010, 12, 14, but then around 16, something happens. This is your favorability rating with Mexicans. Just thought you couldn't get through your day without that. Here's your Mexicans with a favorability view of U.S. Look at the plunge. I mean, look at what Trump's done. You know, Guatemalans and Hondurans come through Mexico. Why don't they get a job there? Why not? Why don't they stay in Mexico? Mexico has our jobs. They got our factories. Nobody ever talks about these are not Mexicans coming to the border. Nobody. When I say nobody, I'm talking you don't hear this on CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS. You don't hear that. You don't hear like the 80s, in the 80s and 90s, the Mexicans rushed across that border. But no, what happened in the 90s that stopped that? What did Bill Clinton sign? NAFTA. Mexicans have stopped rushing that border since NAFTA. We sent everything down. We sent our jeans factories. We sent our agriculture down there. Big farms opened up south of the border. Didn't have the picking problem. I mean, you know, you got your whole migrant worker thing up there in California. So those California avocados could cost a little more than below the border, right? Same thing with your bananas and everything else. Tomatoes. We shipped everything down. NAFTA shipped it all down. Cars, car parts, factories, Levi's. I mean, it does not stop. Guess what? We didn't have to have, Mexicans didn't have to flood and flood our border with a caravan. Didn't have to. They got jobs. Mexicans are not flooding the border now. Right? Guess what Mexicans don't want? They don't want these people, number 20, to take their job. That's what they don't want. They don't want these people to take their job. They don't want these people, number 20, to take their job. There you go. Now, why are the Guatemalans moving right along through Mexico and the El Salvadorans, why and Hondurans, whatever they all are, why are they moving right along through Mexico, rushing for the U.S.? Mexico doesn't have the benefits. You can't get all the benefits you want. You can't get the housing, the benefits, the doctors. You can't get the free education for your children. All those kids can't go to Mexican public schools. Maybe you should look up Mexican public schools. See how just public the Mexican schools are. And if you don't have to pay to go, I don't know, check it out. Why stop in Mexico? All you got to do is hit that border. Health care. Shoot, we talk about universal health care. They know. Health care, free education, list goes on. Somewhere to live. All right. And I'm for sure Bernie Sanders, number 19, is talking about that out in Iowa. Out in Iowa. No, you know what they're talking about in Iowa? Farmers are going under. Farmers are going under. Maybe they need to call Willie Nelson and do a farm aid out in Iowa. There you go. There is a thought. I mean, Donald Trump has brought back the farmers going under out there in Iowa, and we need Willie Nelson. I mean, there you go. Why not, right? I thought you would, you would like the. So let me go over a couple polls here really quick before our guest comes on. Vote for president in 2020. This is number 31, Josh. NPR. Re-elect President Trump, only 36%. Vote against the president. Would you vote against him? Hell yeah, I'll vote against that guy any day. That's up to 15. And then we have 13% undecided. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you a poll that absolutely is like, we have to, when I say educate ourselves, we need to get, I have 2 hours a day. Russia has 3. Okay, we have to educate ourselves to the point to where independents and Republicans, we get back to the polls, okay? Here's the one, number 10. Now, this is what the media, now we have the apathy in this country, okay, is the fault of the corrupt politicians alongside the corporate media that has shaped American minds for how many years to get you to believe certain things. And now the apathy is out there so bad, and it's the fault, it's not the people's fault, folks. It's corporate media and crooked politicians. And we can turn that around, because right here, let me ask you a question. First of all, people are pro-choice or pro-life. I just don't find anybody middle of the road, okay? Americans on abortion, pro-choice 57%. That's up 10 since February. Who are these 10%? Pro-life, 35%. That's down 12. Who are these people they're finding? I thought this was settled law in America. I thought it was ingrained in the fabric of America. Why, are you telling me that the numbers change on whether people believe in pro-choice or pro-life? Because I think first, with everything that's happened out there in late third-term partial birth abortions, that Democrats are having no choice. They're having no choice but to say they're okay with. Those numbers are not correct. I'm going to give you one more before I go to break. Give me number 35. Americans on Roe v. Wade. 26%, but keep, but add more restrictions. 21% expand, given the right to abortion under any circumstances. 21%. You got them, we kill them. You bring them in, we kill them. Even commercials. Any circumstances, commercials. Just like one call, that's all. One call. 16% keep it the way it is. 14% keep, but reduce some restrictions. 13% overturn. That's a Marist PBS NewsHour NPR poll. Lord, no liberal lefties there. Can't find them in that group. But boy, MSNBC loves that polling data. Late-term abortions. I'm going to tell you what, the Democrats are in a mess. See, they created their crazy caucus. They created their crazy base. Republicans did not create, okay, their base. Oh, we'll break that down. But you got to understand the climate change, the welfare state, the inner cities, the crazy base of the left Democrats created it. Now they're not figuring out how to work alongside. Because let me tell you something, if you believe any of those candidates, this is my opinion, if you believe any of those candidates out there in Iowa truly believe America's in line with partial birth abortions, oh, you're badly mistaken. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to take a break. We do this every once in a while, every couple months, but due to the fact that the Guardian came out with an article that said, can Trump win in 2020? This Pennsylvania county may hold the key, and we happen to have the Northampton County, PA GOP chairman is going to be with us right after these messages. Take us to break, Josh.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. And you know what? I don't want to put this up right now, Josh, but we want to thank you because I'm going to go back to last Friday or last Thursday, a caller from Northern California. Hey, some days this show goes everywhere, and sometimes we talk about some subjects you don't want to hear. On the phone with me, my guest, Gloria Lee Snover. I hope I didn't get in trouble for doing that, okay? Because a lot of people look you up after you're on the show with us, Lee. And she is Northampton, PA Republican Committee Chairman. And welcome to the show, Lee. How are you today?
I'm doing good.
We have Lee on quite often, and we appreciate her joining us because she is in the Keystone State, and if you know what the Keystone is, at the center of the arch, she happens to be in a county that went twice for Barack Obama and then flipped to Donald Trump. And this weekend, The Guardian put out a story, Can Trump Win in 2020? This Pennsylvania county may hold the key. And Lee, that's the county you're in. You know the work that you guys, your entire group, but heading up the Republican Party in that county. Tell me a little bit about this article and what you thought of the article, and I read some of your comments.
Yeah. First of all, The Guardian has been following Northampton County since, Trump first ran in 2016. They continue to follow the county, interview people about the dynamics and what's coming up. So I've always been okay with what they've written. I've never been, it's always been pretty fair. The only thing is, in this past article, he didn't really talk about the strength of the economy, which I emphasized as being a factor for re-election. Even in Pennsylvania, the economy is strong and one of the, the greatest economies Pennsylvania's had in their history. So while we had some good conversations about re-election, he really didn't focus on the economy. And I think that was the only thing missing. Everything else in the article I thought was fair.
Well, let me ask you a question. I remember the dismantling and the shutting down of Bethlehem Steel all too well. But isn't that kindly done and over for the people there? I hate to put it like that. We'll never forget Bethlehem Steel. We'll never forget where it's set along the river there. And thousands worked there, and it was an economic boom for that area at that time. But how when you continue to see Brett Baer in his town hall with Bernie Sanders and this article here, how much does it concern you that they keep trying to bring Bethlehem Steel as a pivotal point for the people in your area?
Yeah, that's the Bethlehem Steel story. That's past, and the people that really live here every day, in and out, they know that. They know it's being used because Bethlehem is doing tremendous. There's a lot of other industry in Bethlehem now. There's a large casino in Bethlehem. There's a lot of jobs in Bethlehem. They're building theme parks in Bethlehem. There's been a lot of new businesses come into Bethlehem. There's a lot of new printing companies in Bethlehem. There's a lot more going on. The Bethlehem Steel is just an old bring-up excuse. Now, are we trying to bring back manufacturing? Yes. Is it going to be in Bethlehem Steel? No. So, but the economy is so great in the Lehigh Valley. We have a microeconomy, but we're between Philadelphia and we're between New York, centralized, and we have a lot of warehouses and trucking. So there's a lot going on here. The Bethlehem Steel is a couple people holding on because that hasn't ever been brought back and it's not going to, but our economy is booming in the Lehigh Valley.
Okay, so that being said, let's talk about, the Democrats, Joe Biden. The last time you and I talked, you said there was concern there in Pennsylvania if Joe Biden became the nominee. Do you still feel that way after several weeks of him being exposed in a different way to the media, my kind of media, yours, that are starting to really look in depth on him? What is your concerns in Pennsylvania with this upcoming election?
Here's my concerns in Northampton County. My concerns is we don't have that person to hate. Now, we don't have the Hillary Clinton on the other side. And we in Northampton County was a huge anti-Hillary movement. And well, that's my only concern is if any of these Democrats are palatable, I mean, just acceptable, or, you know, a little bit hokey for the Pennsylvania, they might fare okay. So that's just one of my concerns. My other concern is our, you know, our population. The older people were heavy for Trump, and, you know, some of them are, you know, not here anymore, not going to be voting for him, and the young people, they love the Democrat movement and the socialism. But I'm not as concerned. I know the article, I said I was concerned because I don't know who the nominee is going to be. And if it's somebody they can accept, like a Bob Casey or a Joe Biden, I do have to turn out some more people for Trump, some people that didn't vote maybe before, and some more Democrats. But I'm going to use the leverage of the economy and the Democrats being nonsense. That's where I think our key is showing they absolutely have nothing to offer.
You know, I think actually you should be honest about that, and no disrespect, just jokingly, you should be honest about that, and just acknowledge to the World Wide Web that you're actually plagiarizing there the nonsense side of your campaign. You took that from another candidate's brilliant. Come on, when are you going to pick up on this?
No,
Stop the nonsense.
Absolutely. It was used in a local race here in Pennsylvania, a local township race. It was very successful because he would say, "Stop the nonsense." So then they would say, "Well, what is the nonsense?" And I feel nationally that's the same slogan. Let's look at the nonsense. Democrats, they want abortion up until the day the baby's born or even after. That's nonsense. New Green Deal. We're not going to eat meat anymore. We're not going to fly on planes, and we're not going to build buildings. That's nonsense. Medicare for all is quality for none. That's nonsense. Impeaching Trump, impeaching a president in the greatest economy, that's nonsense. So all they stand for is nonsense. And if the American people get up and go to work every day, send their kids to school, they don't want anything to do with that. That's what we got to remind them of. Stop the nonsense.
Well, that was my little joke. I was just joking, and you knew that.
Oh no!
Hey, listen. Ever since he ran with that campaign slogan, "Stop the nonsense," I thought to myself, that's awesome because it leads people to want to know. And I'm actually saying, and see if you agree with me, that we have so many things. When I say Republicans, that we can talk rationally to people about. If we can get them to ask the question, that is just nonsense, that any rational human being will have the discussion. So if you use "stop the nonsense" and you get people to say, okay, well, talk to me about that, we have so many things that we can lead with in this upcoming campaign. I need to know and America needs to know, what do you think this county, how vital is this county to him actually, as this article says, winning the presidency of the United States, your county? Not to put any pressure on you.
It's extremely vital. It's extremely vital. I mean, I'm in panic mode already because Reuters News called me and told me 5 counties in the United States were going to decide the presidency in 2020.
So you got this call from Reuters.
Reuters News told me 5 counties were going to decide the presidency in 2020, and we were one of them. I know there was one in Florida. I don't remember the other ones that she told me, but out of the 5, we were one of them. So the pressure is on in Northampton County to start now and turn it out for Trump.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, and we'll move out. What about immigration and inner city decay? I really think people are starting to look at inner city decay in a way that's different than before. And what I mean by that is, although it's not in Lehigh County, Northampton County, but that Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton, you have those areas that have that show that decay of Democrat rule, social programs, and an influx of minorities that have moved in from other countries.
Right, especially in Allentown. Easton and Bethlehem are not as bad, but in Allentown, our mayor went to prison. You know what I'm saying? He went to prison for illegal contracts, and Allentown's in complete disarray. They've had different mayors, and they kind of can't, even though they've had some redevelopment, the government there is just decaying, like you said. And what happens with this real high-end redevelopment, and I don't think people realize this, and I do, from being in the business, when they redevelop these really high-end apartments or this high-end areas, it drives the inner city low-income people somewhere else. Don't forget that. They don't go away. So if you want to make the downtown Allentown upscale, you got to think about, where did those people in downtown Allentown that were low income, where did they go? They go somewhere else. So all we're doing is moving low income people around when we redevelop these high-end areas.
Well, I say every area in the United States, every one of these cities, they have these major revitalization programs. And when you start hearing that, that's key word of changing the whole area. And, and people have to go somewhere. They have to get, you're 100%
And you know what they're
right.
doing? They're moving these people out to the suburbs. They are. These people are going out to where there's more land, there's more buildings, and you know what I mean? And they're going into other housing out in the suburbs, and they're changing the Republican dynamic out there. That's what's happening. Yep, and you have to think about it. Every time they redevelop a city, they got to move those people somewhere, and they're moving them out to the suburbs.
Okay, two more big questions, because I know you got to go and get things going here on a Monday. Two more big questions. Number one, in 2018, that area took a pretty big hit at the ballot box. Now, for what people don't know out there in America, Charlie Dent was really, to me, a Democrat. He was Democrat, but he had an R in front of his name. So it's not like you lost, or we lost a seat in name only. We did. So do you think 2018 will have a bearing, and will you be able to convince people of the economy? Will that work? Can you mirror nonsense and the economy's doing well in the Lehigh Valley?
I think I can for Trump. I'm not sure we can pick up the congressional seat. For the Democrats, it was a perfect storm. They had like triple the money. They ran an excellent campaign. We had the media working against us. They had a perfect storm where they won this election. But I think that it's different for Trump. And I also said that in the article. Trump voters are different. I had a Democrat woman work for Trump at the polls for me. But then in the congressional race, she jumped back over and she worked for the Democrat candidate. So I think Trump is a unique candidate where I have you have a different dynamic. You have people that will vote for Trump that won't vote for the other races.
Are you hearing in that area? Because, I mean, we're actually watching what the media is trying to relay to the American people that's important or causing problems. Are you seeing any economic decline, slowdown, or concerns because of tariffs in your area?
No. Now, they do talk about it a lot here. Tariffs are a popular item to talk about because our Senator Pat Toomey, is against Trump on this, and he's against tariffs. So it's a big Pennsylvania issue. We get a lot of media on it. But, and people do talk about it, and they do get worried. And I try to tell them, tariffs is a long game. Tariffs, it doesn't work in the beginning. It works longer. It takes longer to work. So it's one of those things where you got to convince people to hold on, and they can't be hasty about it. But I would say that's definitely going to be an issue in Pennsylvania. Thanks to Pat Toomey, it'll be an issue.
Well, one more thing. Do you think, well, I have actually two more things. I said that a lot of my friends say I have trouble with counting. One more thing here on that note. Will you have the money in that area? Do you guys feel you'll have the money, the ground game? Do you think, are you already talking to some people with the National Republican Committee? I mean, are they coming, is the RNC already talking to you about your county strategically, or is this things you can't talk about yet? But you know where I'm going with this.
Well, yeah, I know there's some stuff we can't talk about yet, but I know President Trump knows how to win Pennsylvania. Our former state party chair, Rob Gleason, just met with him 3 weeks ago, and Trump said, I know you know how to win Pennsylvania. So here's what I'm hearing. Trump's going to have his own campaign for president, and then the state party is going to be running a campaign as well. So there's going to be like a dual thing going on at the same time. It's going to be a Trump campaign and then there's going to be the state party for Trump as well. So there'll be two different things going on, and I'm going to try to be directly part of the Trump campaign. So, but I know they're already organized in Pennsylvania. Everything's already set up. They're already fundraising. Mike Pence was here last week, Thursday night. I was there, and they said that was one of the largest fundraisers ever in like the history of the PAGOP. They brought in that much money from Mike Pence. So apparently, you know, we're moving in the right direction. The media is never going to tell you this. And so, you know, the media is so bad. I mean, we just get a lot of negative talk here, but Pennsylvania is still going strong and still for Trump. The only concern I have is people like to have something to come out for. And my concern, and this is something for you to continue to beat on your radio and for media that supports what we believe in, complacency because the economy is good. So that's one thing I talked to the reporter about. If the economy is good and you get up and go to work on election day and everything's good, you think, I'm not going to have to worry about this. So one thing we need to convince our team is that don't be complacent because things are going in your direction. Because Trump is doing so much and things are getting done that you think it's already done and you don't have to, you know what I mean, you don't have to participate.
Right.
That's a serious concern, is if things are going good, people think they don't have to get involved.
Well, I do know in the 90s they were happily sending our jobs to Mexico through NAFTA, and now that we're determined to do something about the flow of illegals into this country that is now a crisis, everybody's all upset with these tariffs. So I know it's a long game. Let me ask you this. Do you think, let's switch here while I got you a minute because I know you keep up. Do you think Nancy Pelosi is lying about not wanting to impeach the president, or she's just playing her role in what they really want to do to impeach the president of the United States?
I think she's just playing her role. I think they do want to impeach him, and they won't be able to resist. This goes back to my nonsense. They can't resist. They're going to do, they've put so much money into this. They've put so much effort into this. They've put so many investigations into this. This, you know, they can't be like, oh my goodness, no. After all we've done for the last 2 years resisting, we have to have impeachment. Like, I don't think they will be settled until they have it. Whether it's warranted or not, whether they can push it or not, whether it works or not, or they're successful with it, they're not going to stop till they have it. They can't help themselves.
They created their base, and their base is so far off the reservation. No, I apologize for the reference, but they are so far off the mark, their base, that they have to do something for them to keep. I think the Democrats are in a mess. I think they're in a total mess, and they're trying just to keep their base intact. Republicans, Trump, they see Trump's base is intact. They see Trump has a re-election army ready to go, and they cannot get their head wrapped around even pulling their base in. And if you don't have your base, and there's already talk within the Bernie Sanders camp that they may go to Wisconsin, I think that's where they're holding their convention, and do a sit-in or something like that because they're already upset with the DNC. I think they're in a mess.
Right. I mean, they have just gone so far left. That's what I mean. Now I just heard this AOC saying that we should have guaranteed housing for everyone. Government should start taking over all the housing. Everyone's housing. And I'm like, wow. I mean, that's what I mean. They have to keep going further and further with nonsense because the economy's working. People are getting up and going to work every day, sending their kids to school, going to practices, and coming home making dinner or going to get something to eat. And they can't handle that. They want everything to be upside down so they can offer weak people, you know, disgruntled Americans, weak Americans, anything they can find, offer them something to grab onto. And right now, it's not working. So they keep going further and further with extreme ideas.
This is another subject, if you have a brief minute, it came to mind earlier, and I'd like to cover it. Now, let me just go back, in the way back. Bob Casey Sr., former governor of Pennsylvania, that almost all the Republicans in Pennsylvania always voted for. We're talking senior. Bob Casey Sr. Actually, I always call him the last pro-life Democrat in America. But he, Democrat, strong Catholic. Now his son, Bob Casey Jr., when he's running a campaign, he has to lie and say he's pro-life in Pennsylvania. He tries to lie his way around to lead people in Pennsylvania to believe he's pro-life. Although there's a lot of Democrats in Pennsylvania and old Union Democrats, Pennsylvania actually has a backbone of being a pretty strong pro-life state. Would you agree?
I would agree with that. We have a strong pro-life state. We're strong pro-life organizations, and even the Democrats predominantly like you to be pro-life. Even if they're pro-choice in Pennsylvania, they're not radical pro-choice.
Right.
Okay? There's some people that are lightly pro-choice, but they're not radical pro-choice, because I have friends in the Republican Party who are pro-choice, and they are sick about what's going on. They are very upset. They are disturbed by it, and they're pro-choice. So I think that movement went way too far. And Bob Casey speaks out of three sides of his mouth. He's whatever. Now that he's been reelected, he's trying to say we're too extreme for life now in Pennsylvania.
But when he was running, he tells that lie because he knows Pennsylvania's got rational pro-choice. I want to say that. I'll just leave it out there. Rational pro-choice and strong pro-life. And the reason I say that is I keep telling people, and I just want you to tell me if I'm right or wrong, I say, look, this is not going to play in Pennsylvania. They keep talking about Pennsylvania. Even the pro-choice people in Pennsylvania are not for late-term partial birth abortion. They're not.
Exactly.
They're not right, for
because,
that.
Like I said, I know pro-choice people who do not support this having the abortion up until the
And they also don't want the federal government paying for it.
No, exactly.
So those are the things. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you because
exactly. And these are extreme issues. They're going extreme. See, they can't help themselves. They have to take everything to the extreme. And now they've taken life to an extreme. And that's, people are saying to me, oh, no, it's not going to be an issue. I think it's a huge issue.
I think it's big.
I think young people are pro-life anymore. Some millennials are pro-life because of science. Now science can detect these things so much earlier, and people that believe in science are becoming pro-life.
Listen, Bob Casey, and I know we don't have time to get into that, Bob Casey Sr., the governor of Pennsylvania, which I look in the camera, I understand you may get upset, but I had an opportunity to vote twice for the guy, and he was a Democrat. So there you go, if you got upset in Pennsylvania. I had a lot of friends that voted for Bob Casey Sr., Democrats. I won't put any other family members out, but I bet you we can find some. Anyhow, Bob Casey Sr., Lee, he actually, the Planned Parenthood versus the state of Pennsylvania, Bob Casey rule, Pennsylvania has the very first big lawsuit that went to the Supreme Court over notification that Casey took, notification that one of the biggest moves forward in the pro-life, that came out of Pennsylvania. Now, the reason I say that is I think once we start telling people, hey, see, Barack Obama that won your county 2 times never did say he would repeal the Hyde Amendment. He never came into the state of Pennsylvania and said, hey, guess what? I will make government pay for abortions, right?
Right. No. Actually, he never talked about abortion, ever. He really didn't. He didn't come here and run on that. That was not an issue to run on. Not here. So he didn't do that. He promised all kinds of prosperity, and now who's delivering it? The Republicans and Trump.
Well, I agree with stop the nonsense, so we're going to stay with that, and I agree exactly. Government paying for abortions. Ralph Northam saying, you know what? There was a time we had to worry about the unborn. Now we have to worry about the born. And anybody that cannot rationally take what that guy said on the radio and understand, hey, now we got to worry about the born in this country.
Right, exactly.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I know we can talk politics for an hour.
And that's Medicare for all, folks. Medicare for all is they are going to come up with an age that you can't live beyond. Trust me, Medicare for all is quality for none, and it's the end of seniors as we know it.
I get it. And Lee, if you think, hey, I won't say this, but as you well know, because in the 80s, and I tell this all the time because I try to tell people, I tell people all the time, I don't want to argue immigration with you because I know what I'm talking about, as arrogant as it sounds, because I think you will know when I was very young, I used to go and sit in Philadelphia in the immigration thing. I used to go to Dover, New Jersey and sit in immigration back when Ronald Reagan signed the bills. I don't like for people to argue immigration with me. That being said...
Well, I feel the same way. I'm extremely knowledgeable on it.
Exactly.
Day in and day out. And they don't even understand it, and reporters don't even understand it.
No.
But I know the difference in the first generation that came here from Reagan and their kids.
The
kids
first
are not
generation
workers.
did not come with kids or wives. They came to work. Period.
That's not what's happening now.
Right.
Their kids are westernized. They're not working. Okay? The people that got amnesty under Reagan, their children are not working. They're millennials. They're westernized. They're not working. And then the new people coming are not working. They're not coming to work. It's a completely different animal.
Well, the bottom line is, and let me see if you agree, Lord, in 1984, which I know very well, 84, 86, 88, 90, all that stretch, they were Mexican males here to work, period. Now, they were Mexicans. Now, there were some Guatemalans, El Salvadorans, a couple in there, but 90% were Mexicans here to work. Then, after that, we had NAFTA. Bill Clinton signed NAFTA right in there, okay? And we sent all the jobs to Mexico. Mexicans do not have no reason to come. They have jobs.
Right.
They have no reason to come.
Now it's all of South and Central America, and they're not coming here to work.
We have the Guatemalans, Hondurans, and El Salvadorans, and guess what? Why are they not stopping in Mexico to get jobs? They have jobs. Simple, because Mexico does not offer public education for free. They do not offer anything.
Free health care.
None of it, right. So they're coming here. All right, I got to get off of that. But I think America's fed up. Do you not?
Yeah, they are, but we have to keep it going. Like I said, they're getting complacent because the economy's good. So we have to constantly be reminding them of the jobs that are not done. And immigration is not, I mean, I might not agree with all the Republicans. My solution to immigration is not going to be the same, but we need a solution, and we need to do it. And that's still not done, and it needs to be done.
Well, you know, last week, the president, the media, the first of last week, had 2 days, almost a 48-hour news cycle on President Trump using the word nasty where Meghan Markle was concerned. It took 48 hours. That was so important. So there's different ways you can use the word nasty. So I keep my disinfectant wipes with me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because Americans are nasty, period. That's my tense I'm using it in.
Okay, very good.
Nasty. You have a nice, hey, and I like that campaign slogan. Tell them I said I liked it, all right?
All right, I will.
All right, have a great day.
Have a good day. All right, bye-bye.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP, and I just can't, I have been so with this whole nasty thing, okay? So of last week, and how the we did not get this week. They're not even focusing on what a success our president's trip was last week. So I'm your host, BKP. We're going to take a brief break because I got to come back and wrap up because at 9:50 I got to get out because Lauren Hunter and Dave Gardner are going to bring you instant replay, North Georgia's only live online Facebook. It's a Facebook Live Team FYN Sports show at 10 o'clock. Let me get out of here, take a break. We'll be right back.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Welcome to Mountain Valley Motors. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat vehicles available, plus a wide selection of quality used vehicles. Located at 7535 Appalachian Highway in Blue Ridge, we treat the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. We know that you have high expectations, and as a car dealer, we enjoy the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow us to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. Our experienced sales staff is eager to share its knowledge and enthusiasm with you. We encourage you to browse our online inventory, schedule a test drive, and investigate financing options. Visit us online or call us at 706-516-1053.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
So they're all out in Iowa, folks, okay? And the President of the United States said Kirsten Gillibrand would do anything for a campaign contribution. Now, there's 10 days away, or they're 2 weeks or whatever, but they're right on the edge of their very first Democrat national debate, primary debate. So Kirsten Gillibrand, she yelled at the camera last week, remember with the town hall, whatever it was, almost 8 or 9 days ago, about the NRA, okay? And we find out the, look up, Josh, I want to see how many articles come up. The shooter, the black male shooter, and I don't want to report this if it's not true, so I want to see if a couple articles come up, and you won't find them from any of the, like, NBC or anybody like that, but the black male shooter in Virginia Beach, just do a Google search and see if it comes up that he's a Muslim. Say, is he a Muslim? I think he's dead, so I think he's a was, okay? And see what it said. But anyhow, she screamed NRA and gun control. Now, remember Trump said she would do anything for a campaign contribution, and the media went nuts. Oh my God. What do you have here? You have that ready, Josh? This is 5 seconds of your life you're just going to love. Yeah.
Gay rights!
Play it again. Play it again.
Gay rights! Gay rights! Gay rights! Gay rights!
All right. Love is brave, folks. So, Josh, just every once in a while, I just have to throw up gay rights. Gay rights! Gay rights! She will do anything for a campaign contribution. Did you find anything on what I asked?
Not much.
Okay, we'll stay away from that for right now. That's developing. So we have the Gillibrand works gay bar to celebrate Pride. I'll tell you what. And here's what's funny. I don't have the picture up, but she goes for the butch look. I know, maybe, I don't know, is that wrong? She goes for the butch look as she's walking around. Okay, so let me go through some of the articles I have left here. Mexico and U.S. officials to meet for tariff talks. Now, media has gone nuts, absolute nuts, over the fact saying that there's very little, okay, in the talks that happened versus, let me go to number 20, okay? Number 20 there, Trump claims victory in tariff tiff with Mexico. Well, the only thing they could do today is they can go in the Wayback Machine and finding all of these demands that Trump made in previous, agreements. But Mexico went home and said, yeah, really? Okay. Mitch McConnell's already told us you don't have the appetite for it. We've been told in secret, undercover, don't worry, Mexico, right? That's what we've been told. And then all of a sudden, Trump says, I'm going to slap the tariffs on you. And you got serious. You got real serious. Things got real. Things got serious real quick. Or you got woke. Is that what they did? Mexicans got woke. Right? I don't know how it works. But I will tell you this. They ran up here and decided to make a deal. And they're going to send 6,000 Border Patrol. I think what happened with Pence and all of them when the Mexicans ran up here to make the deal, he said, look, Monday morning, Mexico and U.S. officials talk to meet about trade. The media will not tell you today. They won't talk about Mexico came up here, all right? And they were here for almost a week, trying to do everything they can to stop this Monday morning a tariff going in place. They're serious. Trump is serious. These people take Trump serious around the world. All right? So when the media tries to tell you all day today, well, nothing new happened, Trump's claiming victory over something that's not real, that's not true, folks. They came running. If they already had the deal, if Mexico already had the deal, and they already agreed to everything, why did they come up here last week? Why were they up here? Why were their officials, their economic secretary of economics or what, the economy or whatever their departments are there, why were they up here? Because Trump was serious, folks. He was serious. And they knew it. And they knew they had to make the deal last week, or this week it was going down. And Trump's going to put a stop to this. This is a crisis coming across this border. A crisis. And guess what? In 2018, the media led you to believe that Trump was lying, but he's not. Never did lie to you. Oh no, kids in cages, right? Let me see. Oh, by the way, we do know lessons from the Mueller report, presidential obstruction, and other crimes. That is what's on your official, what you pay for, your official, okay? Lessons from the Mueller report, presidential obstructions. Today at 2 p.m. in the Rayburn House office building, Washington, D.C. Presidential obstruction, lessons. Going to get some lessons. So let me see. The lessons will come from none other than number 16, John Dean, former White House counsel, number 16. Who else is number 16? He is also a CNN hack. CNN pays him. He's on CNN's payroll, all right? Going back to Mexico for a minute. Number 18. Trump claims victory in tariff tiff with Mexico. Kevin McElhaney. He says this is new stuff. I'm down there. This is new stuff that the president is forcing them to do new stuff. This is a game changer that he's saying. Okay? So let me go to this. Another thing. So we have that. I've got a closer, folks. Not ready for it. Hold on, I almost had it. California lawmakers moved to expand Medicaid for illegal immigrants. This was June 7th, yesterday. California Assembly voted 44-11 in favor of a bill last week that broadens state Medicaid coverage to include illegal immigrants to the tune of more than $3 billion annually. Who has this money? You don't have this money. $3 billion annually. Where will they take it? For property owners. I live in Gilmer County, Georgia. They don't stop taking it from us property owners. Our county, our state, the federal government, they never stop taking it from the property owners of this country. You soon will not be a property owner. You watch and see. I got people thinking I'm damn Looney Tunes. I had a property tax discussion with somebody one day concerning the evaluations of your property, how we gave that to the government to tell you what your property's worth. And if the evaluation goes up of your property, you get to pay more. You get to pay more. And you should actually send a thank you letter in saying, hey, thank you for taking my house from $100,000 to $150,000, where that gives you, excuse me, excuse me, that was the Kathleen Sebelius cough into your arm. So anyhow, sneeze. But that gives you the opportunity to take more of my money. You will not be a property tax owner. You will not be a property owner in this country much longer. I know, make fun of me all day long. Bear. I wish you would do Bear drops the Ingram angle at Tucker Carlson tonight. This was out at 6/6/19. Corporate giant Bear has made the decision to stop advertising on 2 primetime Fox News programs, according to the anonymous source familiar with the decision cited by reporter Judd Legum. All right? So that's being reported out there. This was on the Daily Caller. I wish you would look at Bayer Pharmaceuticals' background in World War II. It's a German company, and I wish you would look into, it's hard to find, folks. They'll make it hard to find. But because of World War II and because of Nazi Auschwitz, you could try to get the name right, Auschwitz, because of Bayer Pharmaceuticals' role in killing Jews, I know, right, for the Germans, they were not able to operate. You could buy a Bayer aspirin was the name, but they were not able, their corporate offices are in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and for years they were not, were they Merck, now there was some pharmaceutical company, I forget the name, they were not able to operate in the United States of America under the name Bayer Pharmaceuticals. That's right. Look up Bayer Pharmaceuticals, okay? We talked about the DHS freeze 5.5 thousand illegals in just a week, all right? Can Trump win Pennsylvania? We've talked about that. This is a story goes back to this is the Atlantic, not that I trust the Atlantic on all of their reporting, but Anna Gorman and Kaiser Health News. This was March 8th, 2019. I was just reading about homeless, and medieval diseases are infecting California's homeless. Tuberculosis, the list goes on. All right, that's a nasty, nasty people in this country. All right, this is the last one. Folks, the reason, and let me say this, the reason the media, every single thing, what you got to do is you got to write down, what are they yelling about today? Okay? And then you got to look and find what is the opposite. Tariffs. What is the opposite? The cheap labor, trying to crash our economy. List goes on. What's the opposite? So, Donald Trump's financial, okay, records, his tax returns, his financial records, his business records. We must have them, must have them, must have them. Why? We must have all of the books on Deutsche Bank and how allegedly the Russians funneled money through Deutsche Bank to get us, get Donald Trump loans through, right? We got to have that. Why? Start looking up Hunter Biden and Christopher Hines. Christopher Hines is the stepson of John Kerry, Teresa Hines' son. Former Congressman John Hines, I think it was John Hines of Pennsylvania, that died in a helicopter crash outside of Pittsburgh. He was congressman in Western PA. Point being, Hunter Biden is Joe's son. Christopher Hines, start looking this up. Look up Rosemont Seneca, okay? All right? Look up the direct loan from China to this organization. Biden's son, okay, Hunter Biden, traveled with his dad on Air Force Two, our plane, to China. No one has the deal that Rosemont Seneca got in China. No one. I think it was a $1.5 billion loan they got from China, the government. Joe Biden is vice president. His son has no background in this. He has no background. Rosemont Seneca. Start looking it up. Then start looking up Thornton Group. Okay? Start looking up the Thornton Group. The point is, Biden's son and the money they got from China and the deal they got from the Ukraine, but the money from China, okay? That's why Biden said China's not an issue. I got that covered. Because if you find Deutsche Bank and Trump and the Russians, my God, you can manipulate the country into thinking that Trump has committed more crimes, right? So everything they yell. See, Deutsche Bank couldn't even get this deal from China. Couldn't even get it. Here Biden's son rolls in. They create this little corporation, and they roll right in, get off the plane, $1.5 billion deal. You better look every single time the media screams one direction for their swamp. You better look at what they're actually trying to divert you from finding out. I'm your host, BKP. I had other stuff, but that's our day. We got to get ready for Instant Replay with Lauren Hunter and Dave Garner. You can find their sports show on Team FYN Sports Facebook page live at 10 o'clock. I'm out. I'll be back tomorrow morning.